But when you're talking about cybersecurity, you're talking about phishing,
Yes, sir.
malware, and all those cyber attacks.
Yes, sir.
Because the truth is that they are cyber criminals. So we must understand that they are cyber criminals. Those who are waiting to unauthorized
Small opportunities.
loopholes to enter, and
Yes, sir.
So what we have put in place is we have both physical, I would call physical as hardware solution and software solution. So there's a lot of things. That's number one. Hardware, different servers, different layers, authentication layers.
Yes,
Then software, we have some firewalls that are
That's
built
beautiful.
on those things.
Yes, sir.
Then, of course, there is this general awareness across the staff.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Digital Trust Podcast, proudly brought to you by Floliz Nigeria Limited, your platform for insightful conversations on data protection, technology, cybersecurity, digital innovation, privacy governance, and leadership. I am your host, Adebayo Faith, and it is a pleasure to be here with you again. Today, we'll be having a conversation with an institution that has connected Nigerians for generations. Many people see the postal sector as just an industry connected with just letters, parcels, mails, stamps, post offices. But as technology continues to transform and change the way people think, the way we transact, the way we communicate, one very important question emerges, and that is, what does the future look like for the postal sector in an increasingly digital age? So, to help us understand this conversation, I am joined by distinguished guests with over 30 years experience and valuable insights into the evolving relationship between technology, cybersecurity, connectivity, and the increasing demand of trust. Now, join me as I welcome Mr. Gabriel Oladapo. He is a certified data protection officer, a fellow applied information management professional, a fellow Chartered Institute of Administration, a member Computer Professionals Registration Council, a Senate member Junior Chamber International. He also holds a master's in computer science and also serves as the director, Digital Transformation Department at the Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you. It is indeed my pleasure to be here.
We are indeed honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Mr. Gabriel Oladapo. So we know that for decades, the postal sector has connected businesses, organizations, and Nigerians. But the way people communicate, transact, buy things online has changed significantly. So my question now is, how is the postal sector adapting to remain significant in an increasingly digital and connected Nigeria now?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I most sincerely appreciate this organization, Floliz, for this wonderful opportunity and privilege.
Thank you, sir.
To have me discussed about how the Nigerian Postal Service is being relevant and has been relevant. Permit me to say this.
Okay, sir.
If not the oldest, the postal sector would likely to be one of the oldest sector in this country.
Yes.
Dated back to the 18th century, in the 18th.
Generations.
Yes, when the first post office was situated in Lagos, somewhere around Lagos, Ejirin to be precise. And during that generation, what we have is, a system where you have to walk to the post office.
Yes.
Where you have the head of that post office, they call it a postmaster.
Wow.
In every locality or community, and you have to go and send your letter to your son abroad or to another place. You want to send money, or your son wants to send money to you, you have to go and send it through what they call what we in those days money order. Okay, so you buy a money order from the post office, you send it, they exchange it to money and all those stuff. Yes. So that you do that one locally and even internationally that time too. You can send money through the post, through that money order, the voucher you buy, yes, and maybe your son abroad go to the post office too. You understand? Yes. It's an institution that is connected worldwide. Wow. So I can send something from Nigeria to somebody in China. It goes to China Post, open the envelope, collect it, and whether money or pass through, as the case may be, or letter in those days. Even when you are doing all this and love, whatever in those days, it may take 1 month for a love letter to get to the recipient, and for the response to come to you may take another 2 months or something like that. Love across the sea.
Yes,
So
sir.
as now the Yoruba have is what they say, dieting yi,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
and that is what I think the post is doing. As the generation is changing,
Yes, sir.
the post too they deem it fit that they have to be changing to be relevant. And I'll tell you the reason. In the early 90s,
Yes, sir.
when the internet was coming to Nigeria newly, when the internet was just coming newly to Nigeria. So you saw, I can tell you vividly when you go to some post office headquarters like Marina, Ikeja, Gariki, you will say.
Okay.
So what we have is that people go with handwritten letter.
Letters.
They will open an email address for you at the post office. So, in fact, a typical example is those in Lagos that time, all those people that are selling shoes, wristwatches. So they scan those things and they send it to China.
Yes, sir.
True. So we open email for all of them because you cannot have internet in everywhere that time. It was not everywhere. So it's only in the post and night. So you can, in fact, people don't have telephone. There's no telephone line anywhere.
Wow.
So what we have is we go to Nitel office to go and make call. So, but the post was still relevant. So when you come to the post office, we collect your mail, we type it for you. We scan those samples of the items you want, and we send it to China. They will respond to you. You come to the post office to come and check your response, the reply. And so at that time, of course, in the 90s, that was what we were doing. That's what we were doing. So it got to the level that when the internet phone line was going to be available in the houses, so we go to your houses to go and set up your computer when you can be dialing into the server in NIPOST. Yes. So you can see the transition gradually moving from a time when you have to go to the post office and to the time where you can do it at home. You connect your laptop to a phone and all those stuff. And up to this moment, I can tell you that a lot has changed.
Wow.
A lot has changed. So we are still, so the secret of NIPOST is that we are following the trend to make sure that whatever that is in vogue, we are not left behind.
You remain significant.
Yes, that's absolute secret.
We are indeed honored to have you, sir.
Thank you
indeed have this experience you have. You are really insightful today. Thank you very much, sir. So we know that technology has almost reached, just like you said, technology has reshaped almost every aspect of how businesses and institutions operate. So I want to ask, what impact is digital transformation having on the postal and logistics sector now in Nigeria? And why is trust becoming increasingly important even as you evolve?
Good. Thank you very much. And I'd like to say that the advent of digital transformation is really impacting the whole world.
Yes, sir.
Moving from different sectors of life, it's going to improve your efficiency. Digital transformation, for example, you are talking about if I post a mail to US, I need to be able to track that mail.
Yes.
So tracking is visible so that you make it visible for people to monitor their mails,
Yes, sir.
and service delivery. When you deliver a mail, is in the sense that when you send a mail to me or a parcel, the moment I'm collecting it as a recipient, I'm signing. As you're signing, you are getting an alert to show that your mail has been delivered. Yes. So delivery, service delivery and all those stuff. So these are digital transformation we are bringing to fore. Even let me put it two ways. Let me say internal and external. Okay. Internal, the way we structure NIPOST, the way we did, there's something we are doing like we call the course the EDMS, Electronic Document Management Systems, so that wherever you are, the chief executive of NIPOST can go to the system, punch the internet, and retrieve any document from anywhere.
Wow.
So it's not as if all our documents, if all those documents that have been archived manually are being transformed electronically into the server. Wow. And that's that's digital transformation for you. Yes. So we are converting all those documents electronically for easy retrieval, and better storage, system. Good. And the one I call external, we are trying to make sure that all our services are technology driven. Okay, the simplest one is that when you go to the post office today, you don't pay cash.
Wow. Transfer.
You use a card. There is POS terminal there. You can do transfer. You can do card. So we are not handling cash now. So one will be surprised that I won't be wondering in the post. So you are not collecting cash. You would think the post is still stagnant where you just pay 15 naira to buy stamp. No. So it will surprise you that you can even get your stamp online and all those stuff. So these are a lot of things we are doing, with digital transformation to transform our office.
Thank you very much for that beautiful response, sir. So just like you mentioned, how you send letters, parcels, even money. So now, with everything you've explained, it shows that your organization and your institution handles so many personal information about people, including their names, phone numbers, their contact address, and even the delivery details. So now, how is data protection important to organizations operating in the postal service and logistics sector throughout the process of managing that data?
Yeah, you see, the advent of data protection is very key now. In fact, in whatever we do in this, I will call it information technology space,
Yes, sir.
the issue of data protection is very, very key. And how key, I'll tell you. The reason is that, number one, even in terms of revenue, if I tell you data mining is money. So people buy data and make a lot of money through it.
Data is the new gold now.
Is that the new gold now? That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
trending. Data is the new gold now. So now, for those that are getting data, we are using those data. Those organizations that are collecting those data,
Yes, sir.
you call them maybe data collectors,
Data controllers.
controllers,
and
yes.
processors, yes, sir.
So you see, they need to be very careful, which NIPOST is one of them. And I can tell you for free that we have been certified. We have been certified by CDPO,
Okay.
that we are compliant with data protection, rules and regulations. And how do I mean? We've taken necessary precautions to make sure that primary data that we collect, your name, your addresses, your age, all those things,
Contact information.
they are kept, safe.
Yes, sir.
And you can only hear that they hack into our server, because we have different level of authentication to access different information. And if we have any need to collect any secondary data, we make sure that it is very, very protected.
Important and-
Yes, and we don't just go ahead and collect it, because we are aware in this situation that if we are to deliver it to somebody and we are delivering to maybe one big man or big madam in society,
sir.
and we have the address, so you have to be very careful so that people don't just get that address from you and go and perpetrate any form of evil, because it bounce back on you. So we've been trained. We have our staff.
Very good.
Our staff have been trained. We have certified data protection officers.
Yes,
You
that's
understand?
wonderful.
Yes, we are. At least I can tell you for free that we have more than 6 certified data protection officers,
That's
including
very
my humble self.
Thank you, sir.
And
That's nice.
I think I should say this. I should, with every sense of responsibility, appreciate the role Floliz played in training us.
Thank you very
yes,
much, sir.
they are the registered
Data protection
data protection
compliance
compliance,
organization.
DPCO for
Very
NIPOST,
correct, sir.
and they guided us through the process of the organization being, compliance and all those stuff too, And we take care of all these privacy statements. Even at a time when you have breach, they guided us on what to do,
That's
how it will be
wonderful.
reported and all those stuff.
Thank
So
you very much.
NIPOST is very, very at alert and sensitive to data protection, and how we handle customers' information.
You said it all. Thank you very much, sir. So now you said you have policies and everything in place. But we should also know that data protection is not just about policies on paper. So what practical measures do you think organizations should put in place to make sure that information they collect from their customers and clients is well protected throughout the process of processing?
Good. Now, yes, you are very correct, because when you're talking of the data having, starting a journey from when it was collected and to the to the last, stage of the job. So it
processing,
matters that effective data protection requires a combination of policies.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Like I said, we have the technology, we have processes, we have responsible data staff practices too. There are some, we have policies, we have the do's and don'ts of staff. You understand?
Yes, sir.
We have effectively trained our staff what they need to do, so that we can reduce some risk. It's not impossible that we can now have some issues,
Yes.
some breaches here and there. In fact,
Exactly.
but what we are saying is that how you see, the first thing is how data are being handled.
Yes.
You understand? So those our staffs across the counter, they have a good understanding of how data are handled, so they keep it and the journey of that data. In fact, there is one slang in the postal sector in Nigeria.
Okay,
We
sir.
call it hand-to-hand check.
Hand to.
Hand-to-hand check.
Okay.
So it is very difficult for me to just drop any mail bag that contains customers' information anyhow.
Sensitive.
So if I'm bringing it from Abuja and it's meant for your post office, I must come to you, hand it over to you directly, sign,
Sign it.
and you sign. So if there's going to be any breach or any, whatever,
You have a processing a record
there'll be record that it was somebody that collected it at this sort of time and so place, so it can be traced, but traced and all those for purpose of So we have put all those things even before the advent of technology. What we just did is that to just computerize those processes.
Okay,
so we have the process manually before now. That we keep so many books, manuals, and all those stuff. So we just have to automate all those things now to fit into this generation.
We are indeed honored, sir. You are filling us with so much knowledge. Thank you very much, sir. You earlier mentioned something about cybersecurity threats, and I like what you said that no organization is immune to cybersecurity threats. So now I would like to know what cybersecurity risks should organizations in the postal and logistics sector be concerned about today?
Yeah, okay. Let me share an experience.
Okay, sir.
When we are newly introducing ourselves into the global village,
Yes, sir.
the first what we experienced was what they call cybersecurity.
Wow.
An individual just went to register NIPOST.com.
Just like that.
Yeah. So because we are NIPOST and we must have NIPOST, so the next thing we have to, instead of us, but thank God for the boss that time, the head of ICT that time, just have to go and register NIPOST.com.ng. So we abandoned that one.
Yes.
And that was before the era of .gov.ng that nobody can use for government. But there are some things we have to put in place to checkmate all those things you have said in terms of
Yes, sir.
But when you're talking about cybersecurity, you're talking about phishing,
Yes, sir.
malware, and all those cyber attacks.
Yes, sir.
No, because the truth is that they are cyber criminals. So we must understand that they are cyber criminals. Those who are waiting to unauthorized
Small opportunities.
loopholes to enter, and
Yes,
So what we have put in place is we have both physical, I would call physical hardware solution and software solution.
That's beautiful.
So there's a lot of things. That's number one. Hardware, I mean, different servers, different layers, authentication layers.
Yes,
Then software, we have some firewalls that are
That's
built
beautiful.
on those things.
Yes, sir.
Then, of course, there is this general awareness across the staff.
Wow.
Don't share your password. Don't just leave your password anywhere. In fact, what we do, in NIPOST, we have actually automated our mail operation such that when you come and I accept your password, I key into the system. So if you are not the person, if I see your username, I can use it to transact with business. So it is your name they will see on the system.
Wow.
So, and if I am trying to be smart, I'll be incurring debt on you. So there's this awareness we have created that don't misplace, don't just keep your credentials, login credentials anywhere. Don't be careless with it. So within the organization, there is general sensitization and awareness, among different level of people. Then there are different level of authentication, so that who enters when, date, time, and the credential, whoever that log into any system at any point in time, kind of the transaction, they can be traced and tracked and all those things to mitigate the level of any attack that will come.
Thank you very much, sir. Something you said caught my attention, that your organization does general awareness training. I like the fact that they are putting that into consideration. And you also said something about security and technology. So I would also want to re-emphasize on the human factor. Just like you said, you have organizational measures in place, they protect their passwords and the rest. But you should also know that technology and security systems are important. But the human factor also plays a very important role in data protection. So how important is data protection, or should I say how important are employees in building a culture of data protection and cybersecurity?
Yes, I will tell you that it's very important. You know why? You don't appreciate some things until you fall in a victim.
Wow. Yes, sir.
So, and if you are proactive, which NIPOST we are very careful. If you are proactive, you don't want to be a scapegoat. You don't want to fall into it
all.
before you. So we try as much as possible to put a lot of things in place so that even if it will happen, the risk will be minimal. The effect, the impact will be minimal on the organization. So the human factor, you see, they said garbage in, garbage out.
Yes, sir.
So the human factor is very, very important. And you don't, whatever you put down carelessly is what thief will come and carry now. So we try to put a lot of things in place to guide and protect information that is entrusted to the organization. So all the information that is entrusted to NIPOST are being kept safe. In fact, as a matter of fact, now we are even moving all our information to the cloud.
That's beautiful.
And then not the cloud that we have, of course, one of the trusted cloud in Nigeria, such that,
Yes, sir.
and even if there's some level of protection or security that we cannot afford as an organization,
get it from
but we get it there. So some of because of the importance we attach to such things, so we are moving all those into the cloud.
Thank you so much for that beautiful response, sir. Just like you said, no organization is immune to data breach. So I want to ask, if a data breach should occur, what should any organization do first?
Yeah, I think I would say even from training that they gave us, once you experience a data breach, the first thing is to report it
To who, sir?
to the appropriate office.
That is National Data Protection.
Yes, the
or
NDPC.
Sorry, I'll come again. So they have to report it to who, sir?
The appropriate office, in case of Nigeria, NDPC, Nigerian Data Protection Commission.
Okay, that's beautiful, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So looking ahead, I earlier said something from the beginning. So I will go again. What does the future hold for the postal and logistics sector in Nigeria as we are becoming increasingly digital and connected?
Yeah. Sure, we are in Gen Z or Gen M or Gen whatever now. So, and what I used to tell all the people, like I was telling my daughter yesterday, which generation are you? You discover that most of them don't go to the post office. So one of the things we are doing, the future, the post office is looking at the future, and we're looking at that to remain relevant. So we are one of the our major aim in the postal sector is to make the post office a one-stop shop. When I mean a one-stop shop, a place where you get most of all these government services.
Okay.
So like it is being done in developed countries, you go to the post office, you want to do your international passport, you get it done in the post office.
Wow.
Yeah. So you want to access government sites, you want to apply for Navy job, military jobs, you get it done in the post office.
INEC that is ongoing.
No, but the post office.
Wow.
So the post office, the post is bringing government closer to the underserved, to the rural area. That is the work of the post office. You understand? Yes. So we are bringing government. So that we are saying that the post is a one-stop shop, and then every government activities can be seen there. You don't need to travel from the village to come to city, although the city is fast growing to the village now. Everywhere those places. But you don't need to go on that journey before you can do some things. Yes. You understand? And of course, I'm sure the digital penetration too, what we call internet or whatever, is fast growing too. Yes. So, and as we are going, the post is following, but they are meeting the post there. Yes. So in locations where before now that we don't have access to internet, you see that internet are coming. So the chief executive is having more synergy and collaboration with other sisters agencies to bring digital penetration to the post offices even across the country. And it's a wonderful thing. So we are prepared for the future.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, technology is reshaping everything.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So at the Digital Trust podcast, we always ask one question. We believe that trust is the foundation of every successful digital transformation. So what does digital trust mean to you?
As a matter of fact,
yes, sir.
There is something they call trust deficit, yes, which quote and in quote is making people before now to run away from the post. Yes, that the era of pilfering, opening of letters, whatever. Yes, so now digital trust is like the effort, what you have put in place to safeguard those digital informations you are collecting. Yes, so I should have confidence in your server. I should have confidence that my information with INEC is safe.
That's true.
I should have confidence that the information NIPOST have collected from me is safe, and that's exactly what NIPOST is putting in place. You understand? And you should understand that our current Postmaster General, she's a wonderful woman that is technology driven, and she's putting a lot of things in place to see that no, there's no, it's not leaving anything unturned, any stone unturned to see that there is effective digital trust. So we are to safeguard customers' information. Very, very key. Very, very key. And recently, we are even trying to synergize with NIMSI.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, there's a new project we are rolling out. We call it digital postcode system.
Digital
Postcode
system.
So whereby every building in Nigeria will have a postcode. Just like you can't send a letter to US or all these developed countries. In the address you have postcode.
That's true.
Good. So Nigeria, we used to have the numeric postcode in Nigeria before now. Like Abuja, maybe we'll say you can have 9000001, all those stuff.
Yes.
Fine. So, but this one, digital postcode is an alphanumeric. You understand?
Yes.
So that by the time you put it, if you put a postcode of a place in Nigeria, it will lead you to that place. So it has captured the 3x3, so even more robust than the what 3 words system. So what we are saying in essence is that we are in NIPOST, the trust factor is important to us, and we are not taking it for granted. And so we take every information of our customer very, very, valuable to us. And we don't share it. We don't share it. And we control all logistics companies too.
Yes.
So we monitor them and their activities. So the same thing we pass on to them to make sure that they keep. So we regulate their affairs, activities. For example, we have a department called what do you call them now? This our department that license all these Korea regulatory departments.
Okay, sir.
You see, they go ahead to seal any illegal logistics company.
That's beautiful.
So you cannot be collecting people's information where you're not a licensed Korea company in Nigeria. So we have that duty to do that, and we've been trying our best as an organization.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much once again. So that brings us to the end of this. So on behalf of everyone at Floliz Nigeria Limited, we are saying a very big thank you for making our time to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. So, to our viewers, today's discussion has clearly shown us that the postal sector is not only defined by letters, parcels, post offices, and traditional delivery, just like our guest has said. It is also about technology, connectivity, data, and most importantly, trust. So, as Nigeria continues to embrace digital transformation and innovation, organizations and sectors that connects people and businesses must always put in mind that they have an important role to play in ensuring that innovation is not only about moving faster, it is also about ensuring that trust is maintained even in the process of innovation and digital transformation. So, thank you for joining us today at the Digital Trust Podcast, proudly brought to you by Floliz Nigeria Limited. Until our next episode, remember to stay informed, stay secure, and remember that trust is not automatic. It is built, it is protected, and it is earned. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more insightful conversations like this. Thank you very much.